Northwestern Chronicles, Episode 34, Mike's Nature Walk. Ever since the Top Hat brought Mike the Arlesdale engine to the Northwestern Railway, he has been seen as a useful engine. Mike can still be a little arrogant from time to time, but perhaps got a little more than he bargained for one day. One day, Mike and Rusty were called down by the Fat Controller to Knapford Station. Mike had hoped he would be asked to pull a special train, but he was rather disappointed. "Hello, sir. Do you have an important job for me?" he asked impatiently. "Indeed I do. It has come to my attention that the various forests around Sodor have been heavily damaged by storms. Unless I have some engines to clear the lines, my railway simply won't run like it should. You two are the only engines small enough to reach the damaged areas and clear the tracks." Mike didn't think this job was very suitable, but figured it would be best not to protest their Top Hat's orders. "Okay, sir," he said. "Your first assignment is to clear the wooded area near Gordon's Hill." "May I ask why we need to clear the trees on Gordon's Hill first?" Rusty asked curiously. "Well, a company called Pictures of Sodor will be taking pictures of the hill today for an ad campaign for my railway, and I want it to look its best." "Ah, okay. We'll do our best, sir." "Very good. Now hurry, we have time to keep." "Yes, sir," said both engines, and the two left Knapford Station. When Mike arrived at Gordon's Hill, he found work had already begun. The Sodor Construction Company were moving trees and vegetation that had crept into the line. Directing the pack was Miss Jenny Packard, who was with her sister, Linda Packard. "Oh, Mike, I figured you would show up eventually. Bring those cargo cars over here." Mike reluctantly obeyed. "That's good, just leave them there for now." Miss Jenny told her sister that she was going to leave for some tea, leaving her with the little red engine. "We appreciate your help, Mike. Don't worry about Jenny. She'll warm up to you eventually. It just takes time." But Mike didn't want to spend time in the forest at all. He would much rather be pulling a special or coaches. Soon the operation was over, and all the trees were loaded onto a train. "Okay, everyone, I think we're good. Come along, everyone. We have more work to do." With Miss Jenny and the others gone, Jack and Alfie remained, and were eager to tease Mike. "Hey, Mike," shouted Jack from below. "Do you want to race to the other side of the hill? I bet I can beat you." "I think I'm fine," replied Mike. "Come on, Mike," teased Alfie. "It wouldn't hurt. Or are you afraid you're going to lose?" Mike decided he had had enough, and agreed to race the two road vehicles. "Fine," said Mike. "The first one to the other side wins." "Good enough for me," agreed Jack. "Now let's hurry before Miss Jenny realizes we're gone." The three racers lined up. Mike was ready to win. Anything beats hauling trees around a forest, he thought. One of the construction workers who stayed behind decided to oversee the race. "Ready? 3, 2, 1. Jack and Alfie sped away as Mike struggled to pick up steam. "Oh, come on, not now," said Mike. But eventually he picked up speed and caught up with the two road vehicles. Eventually, however, as the road vehicles were making their way with impressive speed, Mike caught up with them and soon raced down the line, and the road vehicles were the ones catching up with him. Despite being in the open terrain, Mike was able to glide through the rails, while Jack and Alfie struggled to keep up with Mike's impressive speed. To gain an advantage over Mike, Jack and Alfie opted for the smooth terrain of the road, while Mike continued to glide along the line. Mike felt happier than ever as he was racing Jack and Alfie. But down the line, there was trouble. Some disregarded trees remained on the line at the bottom of the hill, but because they were covered in dense shrubs, they blended in well with the scenery. By the time Mike rounded the next bend, it was too late. Jack and Alfie managed to swerve out of the way just in the nick of time as Mike crashed into the disregarded trees. Mike was in a daze, and feeling rather foolish. "Oh," groaned Mike. "Why me?" But Mike wouldn't get an answer. It wasn't long before Rusty arrived with Rocky. And on board was Miss Jenny, and she was most upset. "Racing? I shall have none of it. And you two, Jack and Alfie, why did you go along with this?" "I didn't know anyone would get hurt." "Well, a punishment is in order. Linda?" But there was no reply. "Linda!" she shouted again, but there was still no reply. But where's Linda?" "We thought she was with you." replied Alfie. Well, she isn't. Mike, do you know where Linda is? But Mike was too dazed and confused to reply. Linda? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Maybe she fell into the trees or something. The trees? But sure enough, Linda crawled out of the shrubs. I was wondering where you were hiding. How did you end up there? Well, after you all left, I boarded into Mike's cab. That was before I knew they were going into a wild race to the middle of nowhere, though. She batted an eye to Mike, who looked down shamefully. Right before he crashed, I jumped out of his cab and landed into the shrubs. Well, I'm glad we're all right. All phones are top and hat. Rusty chimed in. I'll think he'd be most interested about this incident, he said. Well, come along. We have work to do. And, stay put, Mike, okay? While the others laughed, Mike sulked quietly. You know, Mike, I like nature as much as the next one, but maybe us engines should stick to rails instead. And Mike the Arlesdale engine had to agree.